Alright folks, so I wanted to get my opinion out for the PlayStation Showcase. I think it was a pretty decent third-party showcase, and of course they announced Final Fantasy Tactics. They also announced Pragmata, which you're seeing on screen right now. This was a real big surprise for me. Now, there was a number of games here that I actually really liked. Overall, though, I think as a PlayStation showcase, as the state of play for PlayStation, in terms of first-party showings, it was again lukewarm. Now, for third-party games that are going to be everywhere, for in terms of gaming, happy days, it's going to be awesome. But it really left you a little sour with there only being really Astrobot being shown, and I know Neo is exclusive, and of course the amazing looking Marvel Tokon, if you are into your fighting games, being exclusive to PlayStation. So well, that's on PC as well, I believe. So overall it was a little weird that once again we have a state of play where they just aren't delivering what we actually want, and we want to see those first party Sony games, the ones that we've kind of gotten used to since the late PS3, and they're just not firing anymore. Like I said, this state of play was like a tale. It was like a tale of two tales. If you're looking at it as a third party showcase, it was pretty awesome. But where are the Sony exclusives? Where are the Sony IP? I mean, they could have shown a nice segment of Ghost of Yotei instead of waiting for a later date for a deep dive. I think they could have shown us a nice little trailer of it, a nice 2-3 minute trailer. They could have shown us more of what was that other game? This is the point, they don't have much, right? But they could have shown us just some nice, like Wolverine, for example. I know they're working on Wolverine, they're incubationally working on Spider-Man 3 as well, but they probably don't have much to show for that one. But Wolverine, by now, they probably have something to show, and there's nothing. And honestly, for me, Pragmata here kind of carried the show. This and Final Fantasy Tactics, those two in particular, just carried the show. There were some other weird ones, and I mean, this got announced in like 2020, right? But now they're saying it's for real, 2026. I'm really looking forward to this one, and I hope it's going to be really, really good. Then they kind of showed off this really weird one that was like, I thought it was like complete mind blown, like what is Sony doing? And then it turned out to be some game like No More Heroes and Lollipop Chainsaw, this one. And it's all, like Dead Rising. And it actually looks alright. It's probably not my cup of tea, but I'll probably pick it up and play it anyway. But in terms of like true excitement for games, they only showed like 2 or 3 that I was overly blown away by. And like I said, Pragmata was one of them, because I've been looking forward to that game for a long time just to see anything, because that's been going through some form of really bad development. But then at the same time, we also had Final Fantasy Tactics, which again, my reaction for that says it all. It just blew me away. I was so excited to see that finally getting announced. But I just feel Sony continuously misses the mark. And whether it's because of their their live service plan to kind of release all these games and then they cancel them all, which ultimately has pushed them back development-wise. But they had Ghost of Yotei. They've got Death Stranding 2. They've got Ghost. Did I say Ghost of Yotei? I'm confusing myself now. So they've got Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei. They've got Wolverine. I know they showed a little bit of Astrobot, but Astrobot's Astrobot. It's an old game, and I'm happy they're releasing more content. It gives me reasons to go back to it, but I'm not going to write home about it. But you had these 3 big games, and none of them really made an appearance. This is a PlayStation show. It's, I know they're going to say state of play, so it's for third parties. I don't care. This is your show. This is where you shine. And they just didn't do it, right? You had Silent Hill F, which in my opinion looks really damn cool, but it's not Silent Hill. You could have branded that game anything, and honestly, people would probably not really look at it. It's only getting the attention it's getting because it's got the Silent Hill branding. I'm excited for it because the kind of art style and game style appeals to me. But the reality is, it probably wouldn't have got the hype and appeal it has today if it didn't come out with such a big branding behind it. And so this is the point I'm trying to kind of make here, because it just felt flat. I mean, I gave this overall a 6 out of 10, and I think that was on point. I mean, I could potentially push it to a 6.5. I'm seeing people saying 10 out of 10s. I mean, there were some good games there, right? Like Neo, if you're interested in that, that's definitely going to appeal for you. Marvel Tokon, again, really cool games that just will appeal to you. They're not for me. But from what was there, and you know what some person said in my comment section was on point, I believe. You know, there was a bit of something for everyone, and I can agree with that. Which is why I think as a third-party showcase, it was alright. But why isn't Sony showing their games? You know, people often, and you know, I saw someone on X earlier before making this video saying, why is everyone talking about the Xbox showcase against the PlayStation showcase? That showcase, it's like they've become the same lemmings that they accuse Xbox fans becoming. They are openly conditioning themselves to accept just low bar shoddiness from Sony, and that's what they're doing, right? That's what's become of them. Slowly but surely, they have been conditioned, and you know, Sony said they like to work slowly in changing habits and attitudes, and it looks like it's working, because the previous generation was not like this. You had the really big games like Uncharted and everything just flying out, and it was great. It was cool. I know games take a long time, but don't tell me that Wolverine doesn't have anything to show, right? Don't tell me Death Stranding 2 has got nothing to show. It clearly does. And obviously they might be waiting for some against us, but this is your show. And I don't know, I'm pretty disappointed. Like, this is Silent Hill F, and I just think it looks creepy. It looks, you know, weird and wonderful, but it's not Silent Hill. It doesn't feel like Silent Hill. It doesn't sound like Silent Hill. It just looks like a generic kind of horror-themed game that, well, is it... Do you know what I mean? I think it looks great, though. It's running 60 FPS, so hopefully it'll continue to do that. But I just feel Sony, once again, and they have repeatedly dropped the ball when it comes to their showcases, when it comes to first-party outings. I'm surprised Marathon didn't show up on here, or Fair Games didn't show up on here, or anything. Like, anything that's essentially Sony, first-party, they just don't want to associate with any showcase anymore. It's almost like they're ashamed of their own games. I mean, it sounds weird, right? But when you've got a massive franchise like Wolverine, why wouldn't you want to show that? Even their arcade stick that they showed, why not show that after Marvel Tokon, when it's going to get the biggest impact for it? You've got this amazing looking fighting game that looks so good, and then just show the arcade stick there to get mass interest for it straight away. Instead, they showed it after Mortal Kombat Collection, which, let's face it, no one's buying, right? I don't even know why that exists. That is literally a money grab and trying to, you know, appeal to people's nostalgia and try to... It's just crash. I don't know. Overall, I gave the showcase a 6 out of 10. I think the showcase was pretty good overall. For a 6 out of 10, I think it's okay. It was above average. But if Sony had shown... I mean, they showed a snippet of Ghost of Yotei. But if they showed me, like, I don't know, 3-4 minutes of Ghost of Yotei, I could have said, you know what? That saved it. If there was no Final Fantasy Tactics and Pragmata here, I probably would have given this like a 3, or like a 3, honestly. But Pragmata and Final Fantasy Tactics really saved the show. There was other few, you know, little bits in the showcase that actually looked okay. But again, it's nothing to write home about. And it's not like it's only available on the PlayStation platform. And that's what kind of makes me think, you know, I expect good things from Sony. And I expect a certain kind of game from Sony. And we just don't get it anymore. And I don't really know what's going on. And instead of the PlayStation community turning around and saying, where are these good games? Why aren't you showing, you know, a GTA or a a new Uncharted game, or, you know, if there's anything for Intergalactic or for Wolverine or for Death Stranding, that's it. You know, people have the game right now and they're reviewing it. Instead of making that kind of complaint and going to Sony, people are like, oh yeah, it's alright because the Xbox Showcase is ours as well, yeah, because apparently every game there is going to be on PlayStation, apparently. And can you see how they've been talking for so long on how Xbox gamers have been conditioned, when in reality, they've conditioned themselves for mediocrity. And showcase after showcase, it's just disappointing. And I don't know. That's my thoughts. Thank God for Final Fantasy Tactics and Pragmata. They won the show for me. But it didn't, you know, it wasn't enough to bring it to, you know, the highs of the 7s and the 8s. I really needed to see something from Sony, and I didn't. And as much as, you know, those games that are good, this is based on what appeals to me, right? This is a subjective video, so I'm not saying that you are going to say that those games don't appeal to you, but like the beat 'em up games just don't appeal to me anymore. I can appreciate it, look amazing, like Tokon looked amazing, but it's just not going to be, it's not for me. I'm not going to buy it. I've got no interest in those games anymore, and I've moved on from those. But it is what it is. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I saw a lot of people, you know, Marlon Gaming apparently was really upset about this showcase. Apparently MBG was upset. DCG was upset. I've seen others saying it was 10 out of 10. I don't know. It's a bit weird. But hey, at least there was Hot Shots Golf, right? I'm probably going to pick that one up because that was good. And for Digimon fans, here you go. You've got your game. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that discussion, and I will see you in the next one. This is my thoughts on the PlayStation Showcase. We are going to be streaming the Summer Games Fest on Friday, so hopefully I'll see you there. Tomorrow we're going to be at YouTube. I guess if you're watching this in the UK, it's today. In the US, it'll be tomorrow for you. But we'll be going live around 7:45 p.m. Hopefully I will see you there, and we will discuss more of this tomorrow. But this is just my thoughts, initial thoughts, after watching the showcase and after discussing it with chat. And yeah, overall, I expect more from Sony. And it's weird that, you know, me who kind of has every console and plays on everything, and most people will see me as an Xbox fan. I am an Xbox fan, but not a fanboy. But I expect more from Sony, yet the people who are diehard Sony fanatics aren't willing to expect more, aren't willing to ask for more. They're willing to take less because they don't want to, in any way, shape or form, hurt their overlords. And the reality is, they've just become the same thing that they accuse the Xbox fans of becoming. They've become complacent, and they have lost that will to demand better. So I don't want to hear any more PlayStation fans crying about this. It's pretty sad, but it is what it is. But anyway, folks, that's the video. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow or on Friday. Peace out and remain legend.